Howdy. So I actually ran out of canvases. Yeah, real uh-oh moment. So I thought, why not kill two birds in one stone, because Warhammer Club is tomorrow, and paint my army. Little orc guys, you'll see them, bring the camera closer, they're a bit small. So I've already got this guy painted. I need to, fix him up a little bit, but little, yeah, look at that. Real nice, real nice. Anyway, I'm going to be painting Warhammer. I need to finish this guy up with his boots and then this surrounding area, and then, of course, facial features, which I'm going to hate painting because I hate painting facial features. There's a few other guys I need to finish up, but I'm going to do the two big ones right now. Alright, so let's see. Where are my brushes for this? Because I have two very specific brushes that are small enough to paint these guys. There's that one. I mean, I feel like all these brushes would be good. I'm looking for like very, very specific brushes. My small brush. And this is not small enough, but I mean, you know what? Yeah, it's my smallest brush, so I'm gonna just be very, very careful. Anyway, I got many paints. Let's get started. I really don't have to do much with him, so it shouldn't take long. I just gotta make his boots, which are gonna be brown, which most of the stuff is brown, so I can probably get this guy done real quick. I've been using burnt umber. Not burnt umber, this is the one I've been using. Is this burnt? This is burnt umber. I've been using raw umber. Wait. Which umber have I been using? Oh, I've been using this burnt umber, which is different from that burnt umber for some reason. It's really, really annoying. So let me go ahead and... You can see I'm running out. And I gotta remake the orc skin green, which, I mean, that's not gonna be the craziest thing to do. That's not gonna, like, wipe me out. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get this guy's boots painted up. These little guys gotta go back in the box when I'm done, so I gotta, back in my little box for them when I'm done, so I gotta, quick about it. Not quick, but I gotta, I also have to take a shower after this. I normally don't like to shower before recording because my hair gets all wet and it looks greasy. I might actually make this coat a different color that's not brown, because this one has a lot of brown. Alright. Okay, so he's got little brown boots now. Look at this. I'm gonna make the little silver, I'm gonna make the silver a little better. I wanna actually do something special with this guy because they gave me the wrong leg for this. I checked all the stuff and it's backwards. Which is funny, but not the right thing. And the thing about orcs in Warhammer is if they believe something, then it's automatic, or if enough of them believe something, it's automatically true. So I want to pick the words "it work" on the side of it. Never mind, my brush is not small enough. Alright. I'm gonna put this guy down, let it dry a little, let him dry. And let's focus on one of the other riders. This one's got a little tire on the back, and I already have black paint out, so. I'm just gonna finish up this guy's tire. Right here. Sometimes I wish these things came pre-painted. I didn't have to do this every time I want to add to an army. His tire is pretty close to being done. The only other tire is the one on the grubbo. Which, I mean, I don't know, speaking of, I think it just fell. Yopa. Oh, hi, kitty. Cat has also been harassing me while I've been painting. Although that's a more... anytime I'm doing anything that requires focus, she somehow thinks it's an amazing time to show up. Hi, kitty. Yes, kitty, look at the figure I'm painting. It's so fun, right? I know. I finished up on this guy, kitty. Look at this. Oh, kitty, don't do that. Yeah, which I need to redo the little guy, the Fiend's eye. It's funny, that's actually marked as Fing in the thing, because it's a Fing. Is this brush smaller? Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna start doing kitty. Wait. I'm gonna start brushing on the brown, which this one doesn't have as much brown because I want this to be a yellowish, like the Beast Boss. So the only brown thing I'm gonna be having is his pants and his boots, which doesn't require much. Eventually I'm gonna have to mix colors, which is mostly just whatever colors are like the neutral color paint are mixed with brown to make it look slightly more grimy. Ow, kitty, you shocked me with static electricity. I cat knocked the camera to the side so now you guys can't really see the painting. Technical difficulties there. Accidentally just opened the memory card slot, so, you know, a very confusing cut. Also, I zoomed in a little bit so you guys could properly see the painting action going on. Oh, don't I feel silly? All right, so a lot more brown than you would expect on these. You know, you wouldn't expect as much brown on certain figures, but with orks, you know, I mean, I expect brown with, what's it called? Ooh, what are they called? I'll remember it eventually. You'd expect a lot of brown with, I think it's the dwarves for fantasy. But honestly, there's more brown with the orcs than there is like most other factions. All about patience with these figures. Although it is frustrating. This is, I've just recently, or only recently gotten into Warhammer, so this is actually my first, like, starter army. which I chose orks because orks are like by far my favorite faction. You don't actually have to have battle strategy with them, you can just charge them into it. I think it's similar with Tyranids as well, you don't actually need battle strategy with them, you can just kind of... Although I think Tyranids are a little worse than orks whenever it comes to that, because Tyranids are like the swarmiest enemies, which I have to go against a Tyranid army tomorrow, so that's gonna suck. And he's the arch tyrant of the club, so you know he's good. Actual title of the club leader, by the way, is arch tyrant, which is so funny. Pretty sure he declared himself the arch tyrant of the club after overthrowing the last one, or the last club leader. Also, sorry for the big hiatus over the break. I didn't have any of my editing materials, so it was kind of a... couldn't really... Oh no. I'll get a smaller brush for that. Where's my small brush? There it is. Wow, never a small enough brush, huh? Alright. That sucks. I am probably going to end up using the metallic black more than silver, because I am running out of silver. Because of all of the choppas and shitas. Where even is it? This is metallic black as well. I'm looking for the regular silver, but Huh. I guess I don't have much of a choice. Silver's gone. Might be in the tote bag. Nope. That sucks. I also have this metallic blue. I'm probably going to give it to, pretty sure we have the Chaos Marines in the club. I don't use metallic blue anyway. No, we have a Death Guard in the club. Ew. Oh, here's the silver. Death Guard players are the worst. I don't have anything against the playstyle, I just think they're stinky. No offense though, that guy's awesome. They are so cool. Oh, I got black on my fingers, like a lot of it. Go ahead and get some silver on there. Alright, and this is where it starts with that color mixed with brown, because this is just silver mixed with brown to make it slightly more of a grimy silver, so it doesn't look like I put cooling paste on the thing. I think that's good. And for this one, I actually use the fact that it is already gray to make it a little easier on myself. Oh, this is gonna suck. I'm gonna paint the tiny holes black for further detail. Why am I using this one? This one's not good for actually adding anything. I'm gonna use this one. Yeah, this one can get in all the tiny little crevices for silver. Make it slightly more silverish. Silverish, brownish, blackish color. See, with this one I can get all around the tiny edges. That is the wrong silver. This one I want this silver, and then I can just go boom. Look at that. And I can use the fact that it's already gray to disguise the fact that it's not fully silver, which helps a lot for the areas where I can't really reach all that easy, so I can just boom. Now all of it looks very silverish, which actually I'm gonna add a little bit of red on there, get a little blood spray. I like to add a bit of like the detail of, obviously the orcs don't take care of their material or take care of their weapons all that well. Due to the fact that they're not very smart. So I like to add the fact that it looks like they haven't properly cleaned the weapons in a very, very long time. Yeah, I don't want the paint too shiny, is basically what I'm saying. I don't want it ridiculously shiny, because if I make it shiny or ridiculously shiny, then it doesn't look as good compared to, if I were to make it look more grimy and dirty. Let me get a cup of water so I can clean the brushes off so I don't have to use the worst brushes. So now that those works, or now that the brushes are properly cleaned, I can kind of finish up with the cavalry, because I think there's 3 to 4 cavalry if you count that rubbo. Yeah, because there's this guy right here, which this guy is going to be a monster. To paint, look at those tiny details I'm going to hate painting. And then there's a tiny little grubbo, which I'm not going to put much detail in. He's going to get our... Oh, no, there's also this guy. So there is Yeah, 4 plus or 3 plus a grubbo. Tiny little areas, yeah. Who is probably going to immediately get demolished. Like, no question. Look at this little guy. No way he's surviving the battle. R.I.P. random grubbo. This is actually where I go and I say I am not going to make the paint any less of what color I need it with brown, or desaturate the color, make it look a little less bright. With these guys or with these guys, because these guys are so ridiculously bright red. I don't want to brush that big. Not that big. Oh, wait. Small enough. But also big enough. I need a good, like, medium brush right now. I actually like it if I could saturate them more, because this is like incredibly dark compared to what I need it to be. Let me scratch my nose real quick. For this guy, I added like 4 coats before then saying good enough, it's red enough. And this is Cambion, this is Scarlet. I want to see if that'll work a little better. Which it does not seem to be, so this is going to be a not very fun thing, because I'm going to have to continuously come back to these guys. I'm glad I chose to do them first, because I would not have lasted to be having to be patient. I'm going to go and do the eyes afterwards, because I would rather not have to do a bunch of delicate work to only accidentally paint over it. I was doing the more taxing work. Give this guy a little belly scratch real quick with the thing. Also, it looks like this is part of the saddle, so I kind of lucked out on this one, because if it's part of the saddle, I could just make that brown or yellow. I got snake bites. They're yellow, I think. Pretty sure. Like 90%. Nope. I just painted on the engine, so now I'm gonna have to repaint the engine after this. I'll do that after I apply the second coat of this. Squeeb. It's red, so it goes falsa. This wasn't the worst one to make, though. I'm gonna be honest, out of all the ones that I think are terrible to make, this guy made me regret so much. Let me mess around with the camera angle real quick so I can, like, focus and have you guys actually get a view of it. I don't want you guys just, like, staring off into the, you know, looking at my paint collection. Look at my large collection of paints. While I just, like, talk whilst trying to paint. That one needs a little more, what's it called, pizzazz. No, it just needs a little more, what's it called, to be a little redder. I might honestly paint the squibs, like, skin first and then go over and do everything else, because honestly it's the most frustrating part of these, I think it's called a squib, of the squibs to paint, because they are red all over, and it's a very, very vibrant red that I... Wait, what happened to the second half of his jaw? Oh no, the second half of his jaw fell out, or, I mean, you know, his like, weird mechanical jaw, but still his jaw, you know what I mean? This squib is currently sitting down, which is kind of funny. I mean, it's not intentionally made to look that way, but it's still kind of funny that, you know, it looks like it's sitting down. The squibs like to be a little more reckless with the red, because it takes multiple coats for the red to, you know, look like red. And so, you know, I like to be a little more reckless in the first bout of it, because, you know, if I cover something I can just paint over the red. It really isn't that big a deal to me. This one actually I'm going to keep a darker red. The inside of his mouth I'm going to keep a darker red, just because it looks a little better. Also, it just takes forever with squibs to make them red. Honestly, I kind of regret going one with so much cavalry. Oh man, am I glad I didn't go Goths as my faction, because that would be a lot of red. Also, a lot of checkered patterns. I mean, I'm playing on Quick Snake Bites, it's not any better, but still. It's yellow, and I will not a yellow, so it's not as big of a problem. dry. Got the important parts. Now for this angry guy. This one's doing a little like bowl. I mean, all of them are, but this one's got 4 legs. That one's only got 2, so does that one, and that one's sitting down, so I mean, I don't think that counts. I might just start leaving thicker coats of red, because that seems to be... No, wait, no, it's just drying as a less strong looking red. And I've used more paint for less. There you go, we got boom. A little paint goes a very long way. Alright. I got that guy done. Let me put that in some water. And let's make the green. So I normally go sap and then this, and then a little bit of brown, but I actually want to try a darker green. Well, that's Camden, that's vibrant. I'm going to go dark green and then sap, because I want to have a bit of variation with my orks. Like, I don't just want, one color of orc. I want to have some of my orks be dark green, some of them be light green, Honestly, I might repaint this guy to be darker green. But I also really don't want to repaint this guy. So I might just keep them like that. So this one's actually going to be a really dark green orc. Also, I forgot to put shoulder pads on this guy, so. I want a bit of variation because orcs are essentially the reason why they're green is because they have chlorophyll. And so I kind of want, some of them to have a little more chlorophyll than others in their skin. And I don't think that would really. It's just a fun thing to add because, it's more fun than adding, like, different kinds of orcs, Also, because I'm tired of making that kind of green. It's a very annoying green to make. And I always get the colors wrong, so make it slightly different multiple times because, is that a piece I forgot to clip off, or like a part of the pants? That's a good question. My camera's a weird angle. There you go. Yep. Get a little above shot of me painting this little guy. There you are. Yep. Get his little boots painted up. So let me actually make the bigger one. This is a really bad paint job on these guys, but honestly, I prefer it to them being just like gray blobs. I'd rather them be colored blobs, even if they're colored badly. I'm gonna make, once again, I'm gonna make the little like fuzzy bits a different color because I don't want the orcs to just look like a bunch of brown. Because that just seems like very dull. Here, let me move the camera up slightly. Alright, well, not that much. Wow, this is really difficult to, I want to get my little orc cavalry painted, at least, today. Let's go into with the silver for the jaw. Let's see, where's a brush for that? The brush I've been using this whole time. Well, two things. I'm gonna get the leg, which, I mean, you know, look at this. Watch me speed paint this leg real quick. I don't know how that looks. books, but neither will the club, so... It's kind of a Schrodinger's paint job for the bottom, because I can't really tell whether it's actually painted or not, so... Yeah. Me also, while I'm at it, get this guy's little thing painted as his jaw, his half jaw, because I lost his other one. And then I want to add little splotches of red on them. Oh yeah, also his robotic arm. Leg, robotic leg. I don't know, would this be an arm or a leg? I think it's not an animal, so a leg. Maybe. Which, I'm just going to do the cavalry in this episode, because the cavalry has been a constant thorn in my side since day one, because the first one I made was the big cavalry guy right there. This guy, and I don't like this guy. Alright, I'm gonna start adding the yellow. There's a very specific yellow I use because it's really good for this. Oh, that's gold. No. That is yellow orchid. I think it is yellow orchid. It looks like it, yeah. I use yellow orchid because it looks very like, dark. I was about to say mustard-like, but then I realized not really. I mean, I guess you confuse this from mustard. I mean, it's not mustard yellow. Mustard yellow is an extremely different color. What I do is I dry brush style. Yeah. It's kind of, boom, look at that. And it doesn't look perfect, but if you get a small amount of paint and then you make it yellow. Just something to make it not look so green and so frustratingly green to a point where it's kind of annoying. So a lot of green in this paint, so I like to lighten it up a little with some yellow. Also because it's yellow, and then I'll dry brush on some black as well later. Like, and I mean like super dry black, because if you look on the box, this is the, what's it called? Same thing for what I did with this guy, where I just kind of added small amounts to the tips of it.
Did this start?
There's also this little cavalry guy. I don't count him as cavalry. What is he gonna do? What is this little guy gonna do? I'm not gonna paint this guy, this poor little guy. He's not lasting. Actually, I don't remember what yellow does to orcs, but it's like, I think it just makes them slightly bigger. Which, I mean, that's terrifying. This is silver. Let me get out the silver, because this part is silver. Because it's a little shoulder plate. Oh, this guy's got face details. Ugh. Yuck. Oh, and a prosthetic limb. Ugh. That's gonna suck to make. Anyway, time for a second splashing of red. It's already slightly more vibrant. Just gonna add more red where it is needed. Or where I think it's needed, you know. If I go, this needs more red, I'm putting red there. And I might as well actually put the brown down as well. Good enough, good enough. That actually requires silver. A lot of this way more of this requires silver than I expected. I know it's like futuristic and all that, but come on. Way to go, Squidward. Alright, and back with the silver mixture. on my back. That was really nice. Oh, good. All right. Let's see. I need more silver for this guy, but not that guy. And then back to brown. I've made a shiny brown. I didn't think that was a thing I could do with Warhammer, but I mean, I found a way. Alright. I gotta paint their eyes too. Oh man, I don't think I have a brush small enough. Alright, let me get the white. This is metallic white, where's my titanium white? I guess I could use this titanium white. I don't know where the big one went. Oh, it's under the metal black. Well, I mean, I don't need much. I'm just making the teeth and eyes of all of them. I'm a genius. You know what? I don't think he needs facial features. I don't think he needs facial features. Those aren't really all that important. Okay. Ooh, this is a really interesting one. So this guy, I'm gonna make his thing. You're not gonna guess this. Brown. Yeah, I know. It's a real shock, but this guy actually does. I'm gonna make his stuff brown. Like his little back stuff. Which this guy is. He's got a cool looking eye, so I'm gonna have to actually paint his eye on that one. I'll make it red. I love this hobby, I swear. Okay, wow, that is so ridiculously intense to paint. Okay, okay. So let's switch to a less difficult thing. Let's continue on. I mean, nothing less difficult. I gotta make the white of this guy's teeth. Alright, let's get this last guy. This guy is probably going to be either the easiest or the hardest, because he's got the most open mouth. like to do a little twist with my brush. Like literally, I like to twist it up because this time I'm actually not going to add a little brown to the silver. I'm just gonna have it be silver. Good enough. Good enough. Alright, good job, good job. Let's see, where else do we have to, nope. Alright, I gotta get this guy's legs. Let me get better brown real quick. It is currently running dry. And I don't have to spray it with something, so I'm just gonna add a slight amount there. Oh, wait a minute. His stomach was unpainted. I think these figures are the worst to paint because these guys right here, little militiamen, they don't have stuff covering their stomachs and all their other stuff. It's easier to paint the little like regular, rah guys. But these guys are so bad. I think this is good though. Good enough at least. I mean, nobody's really gonna be judging that much. It's only slightly half painted. I do want to do one more thing, which is add some red splatter onto some of their weapons. And onto their teeth. I guess the, rider teeth, bull thing's teeth. The, what's it called? I think squibs. And I want to do this because, it's Warhammer, they're at war, so obviously, amazing. Oh man. Yeah, it's I like to add a little bit of red splatter on their stuff because it kind of shows that they've been in more than like 2 battles.